Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program version 0.23. This is How to Science, a new series I'm starting up. What I'm going to do, let's start a new game here. How to Science. Let's see, let's pick something appropriate here. Let's go with the rings in career mode. And the goal of this series is to unlock all of the tech tree by researching science, but to do it in a way that's, not heroic, just basic, flying around, solid missions that aren't super complicated. And to show that, let's start with the very, very basic one here. First, let's go back. To here, let's recruit some guys here. So we have more than just the big three there. So again, this first mission, let's assign that to Sherman Kerman. It's just going to be the plain capsule out on the launch pad. And let's see how much science we can get from just this one capsule. Let's start off with a crew report from inside the capsule. 1.5 science, we'll keep the data. Next we'll EVA. And while hanging on the ladder, we'll do an EVA report. And notice that when you're hanging on the ladder, it says actually thinks you're flying over Kerbal shores. 5.6 science, keep that data. Let's go back inside to reset everything. So when we EVA again and let go and stand on the launch pad, we now can take an EVA report. And now it says EVA report from Launchpad 2.4. Take a surface sample, 9 science. And this shows that there's more science we can get with later samples. Notice that transmitting will only get 25% of that, and only a very little sliver of extra science available if you transmit instead. So we're going to keep that data. And now we're going to go back on, grab the ladder, go back inside, and now once more EVA, let go, and now we're going to go down off the launch pad. So we can jump down here. Whoops. Alright, get up, Sherman. And we'll go over here to the grass. You can do it here as well, but now we'll do an EVA report. And notice now it says from KSC, Kerbal Space Center, 2.4 science, and a surface sample, 9 science. Keep that data. Alright, now let's go back. See if we can climb this slope here. And turn around, grab board, and now let's recover our vessel. And now you'll see that we have 29.9 science, all without ever leaving the launch pad. And what that means is that we can easily unlock our first one. It only requires 5 science. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we have enough science to unlock one of these. Let's go ahead and start with this because it gives us the vectoring rocket engine. Yes, this already gives us the goo pod, so yeah, we'll go ahead and get the vectoring engine. And let's go ahead and do that one more time, so we'll see what... Let's give someone else a chance here. Gilkey Kerman a shot at some glory here. We'll do the same thing, and we'll see how much the science drops off here. Okay, back on the launch pad with just a bare capsule. Crew report, 0 science, so no point in keeping that. EVA report, 0 science. Oops. And let's just go ahead and discard that. So neither of those did any good. So let's go ahead and release. And I'll try an EVA report from the ground. No extra science, no point there. Surface sample, 2.3, and there's like another 0.8 or something available. But we'll keep that data. And let's go ahead and board again. So that will reset our sample. Because you only take one sample per excursion. So let's go down over here and get our KSC surface sample. And that'll only be about 4.6 science. Boom, oops. But it's essentially free science, just putting a capsule out here on the EVA report, yeah, 0 there. Surface sample, 2.3, we'll keep that. But just by putting a bare capsule on the launch pad, we've gotten over 30 science in 2 missions. So we'll go ahead and climb back up here. I don't necessarily have to get back in. I could recover the capsule and the astronaut separately, and I'd still get all the science. But let's just do it all at once here. Recover. And so here 4.5, so there must be some rounding because it said 2.3, 2.3. So it actually tracks the further decimal points and rounds everything up. Even for total science, it even rounds it to a whole number. So we have 9 science. That's not enough to unlock anything else because we need at least 15 or 18. So now it's time to do, and we have science archives now, so we can see actually what we've done. So surface sample. So we've almost exhausted all the science from the surface sample, so there's really no point in trying it again. It's always better to go to a new biome, and then as you see from here, you can get detailed reports from each planet and moon. And so that's our total crew report, EVA reports. So let's go ahead and do a real flying mission this time. So to add to our capsule, we now have mystery goo containers Let's put a couple of those on the sides here. Let's keep it symmetrical. And then now we can put a parachute. And then under structure we can put a decoupler. And in propulsion, let's just put a simple fuel tank. And our vectoring engine here, just to give us a little extra control. Let's pick a crew. Whoops, let's go ahead and save this first. Since this is a Kerbal mission, I'm going to go with Kerbal 1. And Jebediah keeps wanting to hop in this capsule, but we're going to give lesser known names a chance here. So Hergy Kerman, he's fairly not stupid. Alright, so let's launch this sucker. Okay, SAS on. And because we are not going to go very far with this, we're going to fly westwards instead of eastwards, because we know we're not going to make orbit or anything. We just want to get up into the air and see what happens. So, throttle full, and 3, 2, 1, launch. Alright, let's just go ahead and lean right over, head off over into the grasslands over here, because this will be a new biome, so we'll be able to do some new experiments over there. Feel about halfway done. Let's go ahead and see what kind of thing we can get with a mystery goo. Flying at Kerbal. Okay, 7 science. Let's go ahead and keep one of those. Okay, our engines have run out. Let's go ahead and drop that stage. Turn off SES so the aerodynamics take over. We've reached 7,000 feet. Let's see what kind of crew report we get. Flying over Kerbal shores. 3.5 science. Let's go ahead and do that one. I think that'll be more than what we get when we're on the ground. So we have some EVAs and samples we can get. Mystery goo. Let's get our parachute out. And I'm not going to do anything else until we get on the ground, so I will do a little speed up here and I'll see you on the ground. Alright, safely on the ground. Let's do our other mystery goo first. Observe the goo, 3 science from the grasslands. So if that's 3, there's maybe 1 more left to get, so really not, that critical to do this experiment again later. Let's do an EVA. And again, while hanging on the ladder, let's do this first EVA report. So we get flying over Kerbal grasslands, 5.6. Keep that data. Let's board. So resets the EVA. Now get out again. Release. Back up a bit. Alright, take a surface sample. Yep, looks like dirt. 9 science. EVA report. 2.4 science. And that uses up everything from the grasslands. Let's climb back on board. And recover the vessel. And let's see what we got from this mission. So our first flying mission to the grasslands netted us 35.5 science. So now we have a 44 total. And that is more than enough to finish off this third level of the tech tree. So let's go ahead down here. Extra parachutes will come in handy. 15 science. And then this one, aerodynamic nose cone, wings, and the radial decoupler will come in handy. That would be the one I'm most one out of this one. So 18 science. We have 11 left, and we can see now that the fourth tier is going to cost us 45 science each. So we need to start upping our game as far as how much science we're getting. So let's do another flight, but this time let's see, structural, let's go a little farther. Again, my goal here is not to make some outrageously complicated craft right off the bat. We're just going to slowly increase our capability until we can do the kinds of missions we want to do. And this one I'm just going to add a second stage. Let's put on the vectoring rocket again. And that will do it. We are going to try now. Okay, let's get a new, oops, let's also save this. This is Kerbal 2. And let's go ahead and move down the line. And more Kerbal. Sort of average on both. And let's go out to the Launchpad. This time let's head north. Last time we went west to hit the grasslands, but north, let's go ahead and pull up our map here and get it set. But north we might hit some highlands or mountain ranges. Or if we get really far, I don't think we can hit the pole with this particular craft. Well, let's get everything ready over here. Go back to the launch pad. SAS on, throttle up, and let's go ahead and put that together, and we want that separate. Alright, 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Get some nice acceleration here. Almost too much. I might throttle this one down a bit. Let's go ahead and throttle down just a little bit so we get a little more range out of this. Go ahead and tilt north just a touch. Actually, that's the other way. Tilt north just a touch. Let's see how far this structure can get us. And that'll give us an idea of how much more we need to add to get into orbit. Okay, just hitting 5,000 meters. Let's check something here. 1.6, okay, let's... Oh. Let's go ahead and lean this over a little bit more now that we're at 10,000. Go ahead and give it a lot of lean, because we know we're not going to get to orbit. Let's see what kind of 15,000. Now we're really stretching out this way. Notice that our vector is actually northeast a bit. That's because of the rotation of the planet is giving us that part of the, even though I'm heading straight north for my lean. So if you really want to go straight north, you actually have to lean it a little bit northwest. Alright, up to 31,000, that's not too bad. And fuel, okay, 38,000 is our, and that's falling because we're in the atmosphere. Alright, let's go ahead and go over here. Let's see what observation we get here. Upper atmosphere, okay, somewhere below 30,000 is the boundary for the upper and lower atmosphere. We want to figure that out at some point. But let's keep this one, 7 science. Don't want to do an EVA this low. You can do one higher and not have so much air resistant that you'll lose your Kerbal. But this altitude, there might be enough air resistance where that would be a problem. Crew report, upper atmosphere, 3.5. Let's go ahead and keep this one. And let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and stage off that. Turn off SES so aerodynamics take over. And let's hope we land in some of these highlands instead of grasslands. Whoa, a lot of control there. All right, let's just get it pointed. Turn SAS, whoops. Let's get ourselves pointed the approximate direction, turn that off, and that way our wobble won't be too weird. Alright, again, this is going to take a while to get down, so I'm going to do a speed up, and I will see you on the ground. Alright, we are on the ground safely again, and you may have noticed that during that speed up I did a couple of observations of the Mr. Goo. I was trying to determine where the boundary between the upper and lower atmosphere was, and I don't have it quite accurate, but somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000. So we'll do some more observations on that and try to figure that out later. But for now, let's get our ground observation of the Mystery Goo. We are in, yes, the highlands, so we get a new reading. But only 3 science there. And again, let's do our EVA. Let's do our ladder EVA first. Kerbin's Highlands, 5.6. Board again. Now hop out again. Let go. EVA report, 2.4 science. And surface sample, 9 science. That's going to be the big winner of this trip. Grab, climb back on board, and recover. Mission number 4 overall, and we have another 31.3 science. So we're 43, not quite enough to unlock a new tech item, tech section, which I'm kind of debating between getting struts and the launch gantry, or probably the Science Junior canister, because we need science and more ways of getting it, plus the batteries. Data transmitter, I want to see which one is better of those, but I think this will be our next goal. But right now we only have 43 and we need 45, so back once more. Let's take this same ship out, and this time we'll head out over the water and check out that biome. Okay, let's get it. Same ship, new crew member. So we had Hergy and more last time. We had Hergy before. Let's do Tomless Kerman. We'll take the Kerbal 2 out for a little flight. Alright, on the launch pad. Let's move those together. SAS on. Throttle full. 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Let's just give a touch eastward. Let some of this fuel burn off, and then we'll throttle down just a little bit, because we don't want to go over 200 while we're too low. So that's about 150. I'll throttle down. Down just a little bit, lean over just a touch more. We know we're not getting in the orbit, so efficiency here isn't all that important. We do kind of want to see if we could beat that 38,000 from last time. Let's take a peek at our map view here. Way down. Let's get a long burn on this sucker. We're over 12,000. Get that 45-degree angle going. Let's just let this get a nice steady burn. Okay, 19, 20. Upper atmosphere at around 20, so we're already at 35, a little bit of fuel left, so this is probably a much better flight profile. Oh yeah, look at that. We reached 87, so we're actually going to reach space. That's good. We can do an observation from space. Very good. And we can also do an EVA from the upper atmosphere here. Because remember what I said, it's like when you get up pretty high, you don't have to worry about the air resistance ripping your Kerbal off the ship. So let's go ahead, let's go ahead and do a quick EVA report. Really should get back in the ship. Yes, I agree, but 5.6 science, it's worth it. Board. Okay, now we are officially in space. We have the space music, so let's get our first observation from space. Mystery goo, 10 science from that. Very good, let's keep that data. Alright, now time for a crew report from space. 5 science. And EVA. From space just above Kerbin's water, so this is one of the biomes we can get this from. So this is near space, so there's also high above Kerbin. We'll have to figure out where that boundary is as well, but 8 science there. We will keep that data, and we will board. And now we'll save this mystery goo for the water, and another EVA report and a surface sample, and this should get us a really nice little chunk of science. And we're just reaching our peak, I believe. Yeah, we're just about apoapsis. Let's go ahead and dump our lower stage. That'll fall to the ground on its own accord. Get rid of SAS. And again, since all we're going to do, let's go ahead and get a nice little screenshot of our capsule on the moon. See what can we get. They can't quite see the moon and Kerbin at the same time. Too bad. Let's get one of us floating up here anyway. And I will see you on the surface of Kerbin in just a moment. Alright, another successful mission. We are on the surface. Let's take our mystery goo observation from the water. Oh, the goo escaped. 4 science. Whoop, we tipped over. Let's get that. Let's actually do that, because we want to do EVA report from the ladder, 5.6, board again, EVA, let go and go swimming, and EVA from the water, 3.2 science, and a surface sample, 12 science from the water. Okay, so it's a little more valuable out here. Keep that data, grab, board, and recover for 61 science. Wow. So getting up there into orbit really paid off. Very nice. So a total of 104 So that means we can unlock 2 of these, and well, really no contest with these. I wanted the science, and I wanted the struts and gantry and decoupler, plus the tri-coupler might become in handy, so let's go ahead and pick that. So after episode 1 we have unlocked the 2nd and 3rd complete tiers, half of the 4th tier, and we got into space. No orbit yet, that'll be our next goal. So join me next time for Kerbal's space program How to Science, and we'll see how many more of these we can unlock. This is Jim. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.